Hello and welcome to my 6-minute tour of what we're currently up to. We've tried to squeeze as many cars as we can into shop, but unfortunately not all of them can make it. So we're going to start off with this 1972 MGB GT. It is the newest addition to the fleet. It's just made it into the garage the other day to get a bit of work done. It is currently roadworthy, but just to give it a going through to make sure that everything's as it should be. Very 70s brown interior, not amazing condition, but it has potential and it's a good usable classic. Tom is currently in the garage as Tom is giving it a good polish. I'll show you the difference here. He's done the wings so far, but look at the difference. So hopefully the rest of it will come up really well, and I'm sure the chrome will come up a treat too. So moving on to my Wolseley 1100. She's a Mark 1 1966 model. I actually started with a Austin 1300, a 70s Austin, and decided after a while with her that I should upgrade and get a Wolseley version. This one was actually featured in the film The Lady in the Van, which starred Maggie Smith, so I've named the car Maggie after her. I've had it a couple of years now. The winter before last, myself and Tom completely restored her. When I bought her, both the headlights popped out when Tom shut the door, so there wasn't much metal left. But she's now completely solid, and she was actually entered for Practical Classics Restorer of the Year for 2020, and believe it or not, she made it into the top 6, so she was a finalist for that. She should have been at the NEC, the Practical Classics Resto show earlier this year, but unfortunately because of COVID that wasn't possible. Hopefully in future she'll get a chance to go. She has already been before on the ADO 16 info club stand, so it'd be great to take her back. Right, moving on, over here, peeking around the corner, we have a Minor Million. This is actually number 221. For those that don't know, the Morris Minor was the first British car to sell 1 million units, and to celebrate they brought out a limited edition run of 350 cars, this being one of them, and it was actually Britain's first limited edition car, so that was a big thing. So this was actually bought last December by Tom from a JLR employee-only auction. It was in the James Hull collection along with a few other Minor Millions. It had been off the road for 10 years when Tom bought it, but he soon got it roadworthy and through an MOT, and that Christmas, shortly after buying it, we drove it all the way to Wales and back with no issues except a small fire, but that's a whole other story. It will probably be restored one day, but for now it's possibly the last on-the-road unrestored million, which is quite cool. Right, so on to the Traveller. Tom's had this a couple of months now. It's just come out of the garage the other day. It's been welded. It's had a full service, brake overhaul, suspension, just basically to get it ready for daily duties over the winter period. It's very nice to drive. I've got a late 60s Minor anyway, so I drove it earlier and it was very nice to drive. You can't beat a Morris Minor though, can you? Right, so now we're moving on to the shed, which was a lockdown project to get this put up to fit the 3 moggies in it. So first up, we have a 1957 4-door. It was first registered on Anglesey and it lived there until 2002 when it was bought by Tom's dad. At the time it had 17,500 miles on the clock from new. It's all very, very original. It was because of this car actually that Tom got into Morris Minors and decided he wanted one of his own, which he then got. But in 2018 the opportunity came up for him to buy this one off his dad, which he jumped at the chance at. It had 23,000 miles on the clock at this point, but he bought it and brought it away from North Wales for the first time, and he's since taken it to lots of shows and won lots of trophies in it. Next up we have Tom's Minor van. He bought this, it's a 1958 model, so it's got the small rear windows because it's an early one. He bought it in November 2017 and it's since undergone a 2.5-year restoration. It was all professionally welded. The paint job on it is absolutely stunning. It's just a shame we obviously never got to take it to many shows this year, which is what Tom was hoping for once it had finished being restored, but I'm sure its time will come. It's slightly modified. It's got a 1275 midget engine and running gear and various other things, so it is very, very quick. And then finally, we'll flick to Tom's two-door Morris Minor 1959. He's had it since 2005. When he was 15, he bought this. He's restored it a couple of times. It's a very modified one, as you can probably see. I know it's a bit sort of hard to see in here, but it's got a 1275 Marina engine. It's got 5-speed Sierra gearbox, Marina disc brakes, and it's lowered on coilovers. And finally, I mentioned at the start we were trying to squeeze in as many cars as we could, but there were 4 who didn't quite make the video, so here's a few pictures.